This is the Nerf Ultra Challenge.
Me and Eddie have got experience. We used to play this when we was younger.
I'll let the blaster do the tongs.
AFTV, we got the two sick people here. We're like Willian, Willian and David Luiz, where we're off sick, or Gabriel, because both of us have been under the weather this week, and both of us had to go and do, because we've been following all the protocols, we both had to go and do a COVID test this morning, which meant that we couldn't go to the watch along because we don't want to, in case we don't, we haven't even had our results back yet. But I'll tell you what, DT, I've not been feeling well this week, but that performance there by Arsenal just made me feel, I feel good.
Mate, one thing I will say is that me and you are no longer welcome at the watch-alongs.
I heard them saying, listen, you lot don't come back. And listen, I agree with them, right? Because what a performance.
Mate, I'm going to be so corny here, but Laca, Xhaka, Saka. Put that in your fucking Christmas cracker, Chelsea, you mugs.
I like that. That's the title.
Hey, listen, I'm telling you, and I've told everyone all along, all right, just please give the manager an opportunity, all right, because he does, get things out of these players. It's no excuse where we are in the league. There's no, covering over cracks of how poor we've been in games. But if you genuinely believe that, like those players on the pitch, for example, are not playing for him and, trying to do the right things, then watch something else, because he's clearly...
I think, it's very evident today that they're playing for him, and very evident that the young players in particular, I thought Saka absolutely brilliant. I thought Smith Rowe, unreal. Martinelli as well. He brings such a spark. And it actually fed through to the senior players, because I thought Lacazette had a brilliant game as well. Holding up, playing that. And Xhaka, when he stood over that free kick, I was like, go away, man. Where you going? And he hits an absolute perler. What a performance.
You know what it is? Do you remember Newcastle away? And Xhaka was standing over a free kick, and Troops was actually standing next to you. And you was like, oh, what are you standing over the ball for, you idiot? Get out of the way. And then he goes and pings one. You wait a couple of years for Granit Xhaka to do one of those. And what a time he actually decides to turn up and do one of those. And listen, at the end of the day, Robbie, right? We criticize players when they play poorly. Let's give players praise when they do things right. I thought Hector Bellerin was excellent as well. All right. And I'm man enough to sit here and say when a player plays well. Do I think he's the answer? No, but that's not the time or place to be talking about that right now. It's about individual performances in this individual game. And to a man, I felt the players were exceptional. And the last 15 minutes, we kind of went off the gas a little bit, although we did have an opportunity to go 4-0 up. And I think that kind of coincides with Martinelli coming off. You lost that kind of energy and that spark. And also, I think at that point, the players were just like, let's get over the line. Let's get over the line.
Mary's tackle at the end, there was a very, remember, this is the first 90 minutes he's had in the Premier League, and that was a very tired challenge. And then when we all thought that, all the heroes have already been made for this thing, what a brilliant save. I mean, it was a crap penalty by Jorginho and a bit of judgment for last year at the Emirates. But again, Leno, great save. And,
my goalkeeper.
Just a great performance.
Listen,
full of energy.
It was so full of energy. It was aggressive. It was direct. It was fast. Everything that we've not seen all season. That was our best performance by a million miles. And the only time I've seen us play football of that kind of nature would be in the Europa League. Yeah. So unless you want to put Chelsea in the farmers category, you know what I mean? So it's down to you which way you want to balance it out there. If you've put Chelsea in that, Chelsea are a team that are, challenging for the top title, so to speak, and everything. You know, they spent ridiculous amounts of money. Timo Werner was anonymous throughout, and that's why he got took off at half-time. I think Frank Lampard's biggest mistake was not bringing Olivier Giroud on.
Oh, I'll tell you what, I couldn't believe that. I was like, why is he not bringing on Giroud?
And you're bringing on Kai Havertz. And I'm like, Chelsea's only real danger today were crosses in the box.
Yeah.
And for a 20-minute spell in the second half, they were aiming crosses at N'Golo Kante. And I was sitting there going, oh, mate, when Giroud comes on, he's going to cause some problems, man. And then when they brought Havertz on, I was like, that's their free.
Yeah, that was baffling. That was baffling. But who cares?
Frank. Cheers,
Thank you, Frank, because it could have got back to 3-2, and it would have been a travesty had it, even them getting the one goal back, because it just looked like a very complete performance by Arsenal. And what does that do? What does that do for Mikel Arteta as the manager? You've been losing game after game after game. He's been under extreme pressure, right? You're going into a run of games, and I noticed that even when he was talking about getting back to form, he didn't really reference this game. I noticed that he was talking about next week. So to win this game and to really get a bit of confidence flowing through some of those players he didn't even remember Aubameyang wasn't even playing. So that must be, for Mikel Arteta, that must have been a great result.
You know what? It's going to relieve a lot of the pressure on Mikel and everybody around the club and the fan base, the players. And we've got a run of games now, and what this Premier League season has proven is that you can't look at any game and go, yeah, that's a victory this week, that's a victory, like previous seasons where you go, what, that's a home banker. Or I think this would be the one season you wouldn't do accumulators if you was a betting man, because you just don't know what the hell it's going to throw up. But we now have a set of fixtures that, yes, they're going to be difficult, but they're not as bad as the fixtures we've just got through in that sense, with your Man City, Chelsea and everything else. And we've now got to go and back this up with a performance at Brighton, because if we go to Brighton and we lose, not only do we lose to a side that are in and amongst where we are at the moment, and let's make no bones about it, we're in the relegation end. It means that this victory is nothing. It means nothing, not a thing. You've now got to go and back it up, and you've got to get the victory. And I suppose the bonuses are that Aubameyang was rested. We obviously looked at today's game and thought, you know what, we don't need Aubameyang. Let's just save him for the big game against Brighton. It's only Chelsea. We'll rest him today. It's all right. Do you know what I mean? He's punished Chelsea enough in recent months. You know what I mean? So it was nice to do that. And I think also, whether they say it's illness or not, I think this only emphasizes that Willian and David Luiz don't get near this team again.
Because I thought Pablo Mari had a great game, and
he had a great game.
I think the one thing we saw, which has been lacking from a player, for instance, like Willian, not so much Luiz, but Willian, was you saw the effort. Smith Rowe, he was running all over the place, as well as a lot of quality from him as well on the ball. It's like we had a midfielder that we haven't had all season. You know what I mean? Someone in those little pockets. The energy of Martinelli. Even Pepe coming in on later, he must be worried about his place as well, because the energy of those youngsters was unreal.
Yeah, there you go. And you know what it is? We were all laughing on a stream a couple of weeks ago when we said the only player that was the only person, non-Arsenal person or the opposition, that was in those pockets was the referee. And we were like, sign the referee up, because he's picking up the perfect positions. Today, all you saw was Smith Rowe in those little pockets and those areas. And 7 out of 10 times he didn't get the ball. But what it did was open up spaces everywhere else. And it brought everybody into the game. The energy from Martinelli and Saka and, players like that. When Smith Rowe went off and when Martinelli went off, you could tell they had put a shift in. They were on their last legs. And, that's Emil Smith Rowe's first, Premier League start this season, especially. with Martinelli just coming back from a long-term injury, 70 minutes in his legs is going to be beneficial for us going forward. And I'll tell you something, when we can add Thomas Partey into that midfield, because he's going to be a January signing for us, because we've not seen anything of him. But when you add him into that area with that energy in front of him, it is promising. But we've got so many areas that we still need to rectify and do, but we need to take it one step at a time. Next step is Brighton. And we need to go and right the wrongs of what happened when we played at Brighton last season, because we got humbled. Yeah.
And then just before you go there, DT, how are you feeling? Because I know, me and you were in conversation this morning. Obviously, we didn't go into the live stream because both of us went and got COVID tests. Which I have to say, it's not as bad as what people make out. They do stick that thing a long way down your throat. We're both waiting on their results, but how are you feeling?
I'm all right, man. It was like, I'll tell you something, I've gagged watching Arsenal more than I have when they stuck that down my throat, that's for sure. But at the end of the day, look, listen, we're in, you know what it is, yeah? The way I feel, like a couple of days ago, I was in bits. And I was like, what is going on with me? But under normal circumstances, I'd go, you know what? I've got a bit of a sickness bug. I'm all right. Bit of a blocked nose, a tickly cough. And that's it. And I'd just take some paracetamol and some cough medicine and get on with my day. But the world we're living in now with everything going on, because we're in our own kind of bubble with work and everything else, it means that we can't just go, you know what, I think it's a cough. And we've got to get the test, because we could put everybody else in jeopardy. We could go and, you've got Lee and he's got a family. You've got Pippa and she's got kids, and Charlene and everyone else who's, there and everything. So you've got to think of other people. And sometimes you just need to take a step back, have the test, find out one way or another. And we'll either be there for the Brighton game, or we'll test positive and we won't be there. I think,
you know what, right? It might be a good job we're not being there, man, because look what happened today.
In a nice way, and I don't mean this to sound bad, but I think there's a lot of people out there that are probably, in a very nice way, hoping we test positive, so we're not there. You know what I mean? And I'm trying to say that in the most respectful way, all right? I don't mean that badly, but I'm all right in myself, man. That's really perked me up, but at the same time,
perked me up no end, man.
I realised, because you know what it is. There was a couple of moments where I jumped, or I moved, or I was doing something, and then my body went oi, and I went, oh hold on a minute, I'm a little too weak. And I'll tell you something. You know what was nice today? Watching the game with the sound on.
No, I was watching the stream, man. I was watching the stream as well.
No, I had the stream on. I had the stream on because you know the thing, because they were delayed. So I'm watching, and I'm celebrating, and I'm looking at Yardy and everyone, and I'm going, you don't even know who scored yet.
You should have seen it when the Xhaka goal went in. I looked at it, I was like, because I had already gone mad, and I looked at them and they went, it's brilliant. But listen, DT, thanks very much, man. Speedy recovery like myself, and amazing win.